Yeah. Starting to record. Hi, folks. Hi,
Haha, we made it.
you made it. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales, completely befuddled and bamboozled by my Skype. And that guy out there is.
Matt Metris in technical support, Rochester, New York.
Yeah, it's been a weird day, folks. Okay, Matt and I are going to have the really interesting distinction of tasting and dissecting um, Casa Rica Reposado. To be fair, we had a little bit of a malfunction, but we um, we did already broke these seals right before we came on camera the first time. This is the second take. This is take two, boys and girls. Okay. We did nominate the Blanco for Brands of Promise in not only for Blanco but also for packaging. We really enjoyed the packaging. This is the Reposado that we know nothing about, except that it's oaky.
It's okay. Okay. Oh,
It's
oaky.
okay. Yeah, because oaky requires an E.
Yes. It's also allegedly smoky. Smoky and oaky.
Smoky and okay. Anyway, I love the packaging. I'm not a big fan of the spelling or the grammar, but in any case, we already pre-poured some in our Glencairns because we were thinking that it looked really dark in the bottle, and it's actually almost close enough.
It's
we
nice,
enjoyed
vibrant.
Some tears.
Nice, vibrant straw color to it.
Yes.
It looks almost neon yellow in the bottle, which I think we decided is a little bit of the packaging coming through, but
I think
nice,
so.
nice color in the glass.
Look at it, it's almost like a yellow, and you take that away, and it's much more where it needs to be. We know nothing about the brand. There's very little information. We don't know how old it's been sitting in the barrel. I'm gonna say 8 months. What do you think?
I'm gonna say somewhere between 2 and 12.
Oh, that's safe. Oh my God, that's rather conservative of you.
Sorry, 300, somewhere between 2 months and 364 days, if we're going to get technical.
Oh, that's even better, right? Yeah. I mean, best guesstimate. I'm going to say close to 8 months, just because of the color.
The color, I think on the longer side.
Yeah, on the longer side. We don't know if it's an age. We know it's probably a once-used barrel, but how old it is, we don't know. It could have been twice used, 3 times used. It might be a blend. We don't know that either. I still get that nice, pleasant nose on the on the match, and it's right in the center.
Yeah, totally. Matt, and the Blanco was really in your face with plant life, and this is much more of a mix between the plant and the barrel, sort of coming together, and a little bit more ethanol than we got in the Blanco as well.
Yes. The allegedly in the Blanco, it says it's triple filtered, so it allows for the vanilla tones to come out. Neither one of us got any vanilla tones. If we got anything that was even semi-close to vanilla, it was on the tail end, and it just on a first pass on the nose, and maybe once on the intake, I got anise. Just a slight hint, which we don't know if they're using. Matt says that according to what he found on the website, they have autoclaves. We don't know if they have any stone ovens. I could check the other websites of La Tarea is one of the other brands that comes out of there that we did a wonderful review of 2 years ago. Check it out on our YouTube or our website on tequilaaficionado.com. And we may have more information on the distillery there. I know it's a small distillery. There's maybe 20 some odd brands that come out of there. And I've got another set of reviews coming up with Dave Dinius of some of those brands coming out of that distillery in the future. So that could be in December by the time we get around to it. Okay, let's dive in because I'm kind of anxious to hear what you have to say.
That is very nice. It's light.
Yeah.
It's I get a well, I'm going through a whole range of stuff right now. I'm trying to get my words in my brain to match up, but I hit some of that vanilla this time.
Okay.
Got some oak. Got a nice bit of baked agave. Getting some pepper right now towards the end. Very nice transition through those things. A very, still for me, short to medium finish on this.
Well, you know what was gratifying is I remember you saying that on the nose, you weren't getting any of the agave quality, the brightness that we got in the Blanco. But I'll tell you what, in the intake, on the flavor, it's all there.
Mm-hmm.
All of it was there, along with the barrel. So it actually, for me, it's pretty well balanced on the profile, on flavor.
Absolutely.
The barreling just gives it that one extra layer of flavor. And you're right. The finish is really odd. Usually the finish on a barrel, you'll get a longer finish. This one shortened the finish of the Blanco. Now I get medium to short. I don't get that long, warm, fuzzy I did with the Blanco.
Me neither.
It's just really nice though. And it's a real barrel. You can smell they're not enhancing it. They're not putting stuff in it. It's not like it's got orange jelly in it or anything, whatever enhancements that there are, additives, what people call them. I call them enhancements because I follow sports, and anybody who's enhanced is something different.
We tested the barrel for doping.
Yeah, we did, and so far who knows? The barrel could be the next. We'll call it the Armstrong barrel. Because there are no tests that can detect. This is really pleasant, and the more it opens up, Matt, I get more and more barrel.
I drank all mine.
Well, I may have to join you there. This is really pleasant. It's a great sipper. Do you think it's got enough character to hold up to a cocktail, though?
I do, actually, because it's so balanced. Again, like the Blanco, we talked about how the Blanco was a good neutral sort of starting off point for wherever direction you want to go in the cocktail. And I think this is similar. Adding those barrel notes changes the type of cocktails that you're getting into, and we're looking more like old fashions and tequila Manhattans and things like that. But this would hold up in any of those.
I want to agree with you, but I think because I've had my first Latin Manhattan made by my sister-in-law, and I loved it. But she used the añejo tequila that had a little bit more character. I think this would be like a Latin Manhattan light.
Okay, that's fair.
I see where you're going with that. Okay,
yeah.
I think it would work, but I think it'd be a lighter version. I think if this brand had an añejo, then I would go with the añejo personally. Yeah. But and I'm not a cocktail guy. I'm just telling you what I know from past experience. Now that I have a bar to go with. But this is really pleasant. It's a hell of a sipper, and I gotta say too. I know you. I think Matt doesn't do cigars. I've never actually asked.
You don't. You have. I don't.
Okay. But I think it would stand up to a lighter cigar, something in a Connecticut wrapper. Nothing very. Nothing deeper, you know what I mean? But I think it would stand up. I really do, and I think it's got enough sweetness in it to be good, like for dessert, like with a flan or something. Good as a dessert.
Yeah, it does have an after dinner vibe to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it does. I'm sold, man. I'm Brand Promise nominee. This is a beautiful. Yeah, Brando Promise. He never ceases to amaze me. But he continues. Yeah, I love. It's a solid reposado with just it's got like an edge to it. It's a bit edgy. It said on the. Let me give you the ins and outs, okay? Because I know we've been going on, and this is our second take on this. It is coming from Destiladora Agave Azul. It is NOM 1424. You can see the NOM numbers on the back there. See that? And it is smoky, See, they can spell smoky right, but they spelled oaky wrong. I don't get it. But who's your? We need to get the grammar police on these people, man. It said, look at that. Look what it says here. I never even read that. Step inside.
Okay.
Step inside Casa Rica. I think they're giving us hints on more of their information all over the. It says inspired by. Okay, here we go. Inspired by the craft of bourbon, our oak barrel Reposado is toasty and smooth like burnt caramel. I will say toasty. I will go there. That's what I was getting in right in the center of the nose. It's toasty. I will give them that. And Matt, if they gave us a hint at all, I'd say they're using bourbon whiskey barrels.
Yeah, maybe charred.
Yep. And that explains the color as well, right? We were talking about maybe it's been charred. That would explain, because bourbon and whiskey are both Tennessee whiskey and bourbon are from two separate states, and they can only be used in barrels one time. The secondary market is huge, as we all know. And what the secondary market, you can either not char it, re-char for the tequila market, or you can char. It sounds to me like they've recharred on this because of the depth of the color and the toastiness, the smokiness. I wouldn't say it's smoky, I say toasted. But that's where it's coming from. And I think it's beautiful. What can I say?
Yeah.
Do we know what kind of price point we're looking at here with this thing?
$49.
Okay. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's middle of the road for a Reposado, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, especially in New York market, to have 49 would be a bargain, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, we pay $49 at least for everything.
Yeah. Where did you find the price point on this?
That's on their website, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. I know if I looked at some of the information that I got, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that these are available at Old Town Liquors, if I'm not mistaken. So for those of you who are watching us out of state or within California, Old Town, and probably a few of the other ones, I would say maybe Liquorama would be another one that carries it.
What can't you get at Old Town, really?
Yeah. So anyway, other than the misspelling of Okie, I'm good with this. I all day long, and I think you mentioned on the first review of the Blanco, the neck reminds me of that neck from the old Cabo Wabo bottles, where you can actually take it and pour it. But Matt, you said as a bartender, you have a problem with the longer necks like that?
I don't always like the longer necks, because when you're trying to get an exact amount, as soon as your center of gravity tips, it's a little bit harder to control than a standard shaped bottle. That's my one particular bottle design gripe. It's not as bad on this, but I'm thinking like the old school Coralejo bottles, and they have the super long neck.
Yeah.
Makes it really hard. But this one's average, mid average.
Cabo Wabo didn't have a neck this long. It had the hand feel is similar to the Cabo Wabo bottle, the old one, the old blue one, if you remember that one. But yeah, this one does seem to be a little bit longer. But that's okay. I'm good with the hand feel. But anyway, that's our take on Casa Rica. That's the Reposado. Stick with us. We got one more expression, and it's not what you think it is.
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
And it's also not the other thing you thought it was.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Anyway, that's our take on Casa Rica. You've been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That guy out there is
Matt Metris in Northern Rochester, New York.
Northern. There's a difference. You have a Southern and Northern Rochester. Wow.
I mean, yeah.
How big is Rochester?
It's huge. We're huge.
Wow. Okay. Mike's brother-in-law used to live in Rochester. Anyway, yeah. So please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, just everything on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell because we stream beginning of every month, everything that we did the month before, you get to watch. You get to binge watch all of it on the first of the next month. Hit the notification bell. Give us a like because it does help us on the algorithm. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.